What if I told you the next CEO of your company might already be in the building? Not in the boardroom, not leading a team, not even out of college. I'm talking about the intern sitting silently in the corner of the Zoom call. The entry-level hire who just asked for help setting up Notion. I'm talking about the 21-year-old who's too afraid to speak in meetings, but who's watching everything. This isn't a fantasy. This has happened. It's happened over and over and over again. And today, I want to share a few real life stories of people who went from intern to CEO, including one who's made billions in business decisions for the same company that once hired him as a summer temp. And more importantly, I'll show you how the right early career investment made all the difference. Because if you're serious about building a powerhouse of a company, it starts with how you treat the quietest people in the room. Companies talk a lot about future leadership, but then what do? They underpay interns, they skip onboarding, they give them copy and paste work, and they assume that they'll figure it out. But here's the thing, the most valuable hires that you'll ever make, they might not look impressive yet. They just need the right person to notice them early, guide them, and give them a shot. The stories that you're about to hear, they prove just that. Let's start with a big one. Steve Ballmer. You know him. He's the fiery, high-energy former CEO of Microsoft, owner of the Clippers. But before he led the company through some of its most important business decisions, guess what? He was just a Stanford MBA intern. He got in through a connection with Bill Gates. Sure, not everyone has that luxury, but he wasn't a tech guy. He was doing finance. He was crunching numbers, but he was asking questions. He was staying curious. Someone noticed how he thought. They noticed how he worked. They noticed how he showed up. And when it came time to bet on leadership potential, they didn't look at a resume. They looked at initiative. Now, under Ballmer's leadership, Microsoft grew its revenue from $25 billion to nearly $70 billion. They made some of its bigger enterprise plays during his tenure. That's not bad for just an intern. Here's another. Mary Barra started at General Motors when she was 18 years old. Not as an executive trainee, not in a glamorous office. She was literally inspecting fenders on the factory floor as part of a student co-op program. But she asked questions. She studied the company. She didn't treat it like a summer gig. She treated it like the start of something bigger. And guess what? GM, they noticed. They invested in her. They gave her growth paths. They gave her feedback. They gave her mentors. And today, she's the CEO, yet again, billion-dollar company. First woman to run a major global automaker. And she started as an intern. She led GM through EV transformation and beyond. All because someone took her seriously when she was just the student worker. Here's another. Chris, he started as an intern at CNET, right? Not a leader, not a coder prodigy, just a guy who loved building things. Later, Chris, he co-founded GitHub. He became the CEO of a huge company. He sold the company to Microsoft for $7.5 billion. But what's wild is the people who worked with him as an intern, they said you could already see that in his DNA. He didn't just do the task. He asked, why are we doing it this way? That's the stuff great companies, they listen for. Now here's what connects all these journeys, right? One, someone gave them real work, not just coffee runs, but projects with meaning. Two, someone paid attention to how they think, not just what they already know. Three, someone followed up. They mentored. They checked in instead of set and forget. Four, and someone believed they were more than just a line on the spreadsheet. That's not luck. That's leadership design. Microsoft's internship program, Leadership by Design. Now, here's what most teams do with interns or entry-level hires. They onboard. They skip feedback. They confuse low experience with low capability. And they say, if they're really great, they'll figure it out. But no, The best ones don't figure it out alone. They rise when they have someone paying attention early. Look, potential, it's fragile. It disappears if you ignore it for too long. Now, here's what companies that turn interns into leaders actually do. They assign real outcomes, not just filler work. You want to test for leadership? Give them ownership, even if it's small. 2, they pair them with mentors, not just managers of their team. They pair them with someone who checks in weekly, who gives them feedback on the work that they're doing, and who shows them how to grow, how to rise the ranks inside the company. 3, these companies, they track trajectory. They don't just polish. Forget the perfect resume. Ask, are they curious? Do they care? Do they reflect and improve? 4, they plant an idea early. You could lead here someday. A single comment like that can change someone's entire career path, right? If they hear that, it could change their entire mindset. Now, there's someone in your company right now, an intern, a junior designer, a 21-year-old marketing assistant who could be your next breakout leader. Only if someone says, you're doing great. I think you've got more in you. Let's build a plan. Because what separates companies with high retention, strong culture, and future-proof leadership isn't who they hire at the top. It's not. It's who they invest in at the start. Now, if this resonated with you, I would love it if you could drop a like on the video, share it with someone who mentors the next generation. Got your own intern to executive story? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. I'm sure some other people would love to hear it too. And if you want a free playbook for turning interns into long-term leaders, grab it from the description. Subscribe for more real strategies on hiring, on leadership, and on building the kind of team your future CEO would want to grow well. See you in the next one.